Hello, this is Art Johnson with New World Communications. And if you've just watched our tour of our Virbela Team Suite in the campus, the new campus, you probably have a lot of things on your mind that are kind of worth investigating. And one of the things that probably people are asking is, how much will this really cost me? And can I make a gain and avoid a loss? Who might I work with to have this happen? And how do I get there sooner rather than later? And that's what I'm here for. So this is a kind of a follow-up video. If you haven't gone there, go to my website at newworldcom.com, scroll down to where it says Virtual Enterprise Development Services, and click on our tour in case you haven't seen it. But anyway, we're here to help you. I'm telling you how, let me explain how you're doing it. We've been actually walking through the door since 1997, starting to work with making websites and e-storefronts. And then when Google stuff came out, we started putting our whole business in the cloud. And recently, as of about 2006, we started to realize that we could meet inside of virtual architecture. And for the longest time, when we say that, people would kind of look at us like we're kind of space cadets. But now that Zoom has come and the pandemic has come, a lot of people understand that they can have a presence virtually by meeting face-to-face online. And that's interesting, face-to-face online. Face-to-face used to be called just physical world, but now we can do that virtually online with Zoom. And so the next step that we did is, after we started to do this, is we said, maybe we could really start to meet inside of three-dimensional architecture. And then 2 years ago, then we discovered Virbela. So one of the things that's a good way to understand how this can work is to start thinking about the cost and the cost of what you're spending now. Number one, for an office, just a simple office. It can be a home office, but if it's in a real office building, what does it cost you just for that? What does it cost for you just to have the parking in that building? And what you probably don't know is just the cost of just a parking space would be the cost in Virbela of actually licensing a whole 12 office suite with all these resources, pull down screens, virtual conference room, whole floor where you could have breakout sessions. You could do a whole mini conference right there. And then there's also, if you have thought about doing events, I used to work for almost a year at the Washington State Convention Center, kind of observing physical world conferences and trade shows and job fairs. And with an eye to saying, what's like doing that maybe virtually? What would be the benefit of that? And that is what really got us to jump on this. So on Virbela, you can actually have a virtual conference and trade show and even a job fair. And that's a completely configurable expo hall. There's also an auditorium with movable seats and all kinds of resources there. And then there are all the rich campus resources, that also have a lot of advertising space, which could then pay for an event. So I want to work with you on that. And the good way of doing that is to consider, doing some kind of mobilization campaign. Now, you could try to do this alone, but that's where we come in. So I'm going to do a share of our resources and talk about possibly what's in it for you. So here we go with my screen share. So this is my suite of e-learning services. I have a background in broadcast public television distance learning. I also have higher education teaching experience way back in the day when I was fresh out of UC Berkeley with my MA. But one of the things we've been doing to kind of bring people up to speed and to kind of make them aware, raise their consciousness, is we actually are featuring our new explainer video services. We're actually talking and serving this fictitious CEO Dave about what he can do to improve, to avoid further loss and to make further gains, not only for his own business, but also for our planet. I'll keep harping on that. But anyway, so what I would suggest is what he's doing and what I think you could do, and we could help you. You start out by gaining focus. And so we have a whole series of, we have a service called Virtual Focus Group and Strategic Planning Services, where we essentially, provide that to you with a core group of your people to answer the key questions that you probably have on your mind and what their impression is. So we could actually show them a tour and then immediately get their impression. What do you think about that? What are your concerns? Where are we at with this? Is this worth trying? Or, if you get some idea of what's on people's minds. A lot of times it's fear, something is going to be taken away. And we can show them that this just adds value and doesn't take anything away. So half of your people could still come to work in the physical world, but another half who loves to work from home can have more presence and more engagement by being on Virbela. But we can ask those questions in a good way. And so we're meeting online face-to-face, and we can engage respondents in focused conversations that matter and help inform and shape your direction. And if you can get enough there, because the price is so low, less than a parking space in the physical world, you may want to then start licensing your own private suite, and we can help you with your own private Virbela Team Suite and show you what we're learning and help you, learn kind of where we're going. And then we're actually going to do with that, that's a whole little mini conference area itself. And, with enough seats and stuff like that for just a core group of people to pitch the idea of moving further with a virtual event on the campus itself, in the expo hall, the auditorium, and to use all those campus resources that could be revenue generating if we do this right. So that's what I would suggest you talk about, and that we can talk about, is doing virtual groups. And we use Zoom. Zoom is a really good thing, but it's more than just not well organized. We can be very clear and very focused in taking a focus group approach. So that's one thing. Now, what that does is that informs what we do. And when we're producing YouTube videos, YouTube programming that can focus on your business, and you probably don't have a YouTube channel that's fully functional yet, and we can help you there. And actually, some of our Zoom sessions can be live streamed to YouTube, so we can actually have a show that's like a focus group show about conversations for a 21st century world. We'll talk about that. And then we do courses on both that. The next step is to maybe take a few of your people and enroll them in our courses. We have one course called Using Zoom to Grow Business. And that could be a great way to gain focus. And we teach you how to do focus groups inside of Zoom, and also using YouTube to grow business. And so we cover all these, the opportunity, the technology, how to do the hands-on, how to do the programming, how to do the optimization, and how to build community. So that's another great resource that we can do, with you. So that then gets us into arriving at doing a mobilization campaign. And this is really, really fun. And we do this in quality assurable steps. So the first step is to get enabled. And that's really been helped along by the pandemic and the fact that people are already meeting over Zoom, and they're getting fairly comfortable, though they're complaining that it's not as good as the physical world, which is true. But it's good in other ways that, the physical world isn't. Like, you can have people from all over the planet meeting face-to-face over Zoom. And this is a continuation of what we can do on Virbela as well. And we can mix Virbela with Zoom calls, like you're saying me do. And then the next step is to start doing business over the platform. And then you can experiment with actually trying to see how that works. And contrast and compare with the cost of doing business that way with the cost of doing business the physical world way. how much time it gets just to get to work and to get back. Where when you can log on instantly, you can immediately get to work. And you'll find that people can manage their lives better by working from home, but also being, connected and having fun and engaged over Virbela and Zoom. And then be social. And so we can build culture. We can build, really nice culture, corporate culture, and, build a social, relationships outside of the company in the community and with other strategic partners. And then, of course, we talk about using YouTube. And then we get to a really, really fun thing called virtual business casuals, where we can actually, in the physical world, outreach to restaurateurs about the idea of streaming live events physically at their locations. They love the traffic. They sell more drinks and food, and this could be a really engaging time during happy hours to really meet a lot of people. Great way to recruit and to really differentiate yourself as a business from all other businesses. And then, of course, there's a critical conversation series. These are YouTube series, but they're done really focused on key topics that could really help the planet, not just business stuff, but also stuff that people are on people's minds and in their hearts. For how do we make this a better world? How do we serve people more? How do we get rid of some of these issues that keep haunting us, our democracy and our humanity? And then in the middle of the year, then we can do virtual training boot camps, and then arrive then at world-class virtual conferences and trade shows done on Virbela or in a hybrid world way. We are really open to you and finding out what you're ready for. But here's the whole plan here: getting enabled, the business meetings, being social, using YouTube, doing virtual business casuals. But look, when we get to critical conversations, what are all the good things that can spin off of this? We're in the process of using our team suite to build a world-class consulting practice, one that, we're becoming the change we need to see. We're going to do this across generations of people, across genders, across communities and races of people, and market sectors of people across the planet. And out of that also is going to become, we're telling a story, a big story, a primetime interactive reality television story about the world's people coming together to do a whole lot of good. And then also out of that are some new social ventures and rethinking education. We are just so privileged to be working with some front-running clients of ours who are just doing some amazing work and doing it in a very, very smart and heartfelt way that I think is transforming the planet beginning already now. So this is really good. And then, so what happens then is we ended up with the virtual boot camps like we're talking about, and then more conversations, and we arrive at a world-class conference and trade show. And that's where this Virbela stuff can come in. Also, you should kind of visit us over here at what we've been building. We've been doing virtual events for the last year, working with amazing Bettina Carey, doing virtual summit events every 90 days over Zoom and third-party app. And we started developing our own with a virtual lobby, virtual receptionist, virtual auditorium, and virtual meeting center, virtual exhibition halls, virtual booths, and all of that. And we're developing a curriculum that the new world needs. That's kind of our mission statement here. So it's just a really a great time to experiment and to learn, continue to learn about what's possible here, in this. So I'm just going to stop my share and, just give me a call. Visit us at newworldcom.com. Give me a call at 425-780-6872, or visit us and go to our Contact Us page and go to our scheduling link. And we'd love to provide a complimentary 30-minute consultation with you to learn about what's on your mind, how we can serve you, And we think outside the box. So we just want to know what's going on. I mean, are you losing people? Are you trying to reach more people? Are you trying to differentiate yourself? Can you no longer afford to do physical world events because of the cost of all this? What are you spending on transportation? What are you spending on parking? Think of this. I mean, this architecture is amazing because it's not just having a presence in one city, but it can be in multiple cities across the planet with a powerful omnipresence. And so I just really want to thank you so much for giving us a call, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much.